An update to our Preventing Disaster investigation as crashes continue at medical centers across the country.
How did it happen? How did it happen?
The latest in Pennsylvania and Ohio in the past month, and another just days ago at a medical center in Kentucky. Now added to a list we recently revealed showing more than 300 similar crashes in the last decade. A list that's also grown in Texas since our first report to around 100 as our team uncovers more crashes here at home too. Following our investigation prompted by a deadly crash at St. David's North Austin Medical Center,
I had several productive conversations today with my colleagues, and that is moving forward.
Austin and these other Texas cities where hospital crashes have happened are considering new safety policies. This after we shared our findings with League City, Navasota, and College Station. All now looking at possibly requiring hospitals to have security barriers, called bollards, at their entrances to stop cars from driving through.
He was like on the floor with this trash and debris, just covered in blood. I just saw the whites of his eyes just like looking up at me.
College Station City Council member Bob Yancey watched our investigation and is now looking into a bollard ordinance.
This is an issue that I just had no idea the severity of until I saw your reporting.
Crashes have happened in his city before, twice. In 2017, a truck drove through this hospital's ER doors. It's since installed nearly 20 bollards. And the woman behind the wheel of this vehicle told us she suffered a medical episode when she drove into the lobby of Baylor Scott & White Medical Center in January. Why weren't there bollards there?
That's a good question.
That's the same hospital where Yancey was once chairman of the board.
It's just not an issue that, ever really occurred to me. And I think in a lot of ways, this is how public policy evolves. I think you have good investigative journalism that brings to light a significant safety issue.
6 months later, his former hospital has not installed bollards. Instead, using the same stone blocks a police report said the car pushed to the side.
I now know from your research they're inadequate to the cause, and only through a properly engineered bollard can vehicles be stopped and these injuries and or fatalities be avoided. If I had had the benefit of your reporting when I was serving as chairman of the board of our local hospital, this, I guarantee you, would have been a topic of discussion.
Experts tell us this momentum could lead to broader safety changes.
If you have multiple cities in a given state who start doing their own ordinances, states get a little nervous about that and they'd like to standardize it.
Baylor Scott & White did not answer any of our questions, only saying it has a number of safety and traffic protocols and looks forward to working with elected officials.
First of all, I want to thank you for what I believe is the public service that you, Matt, and your team have done with this story.
The changes College Station and other cities are considering, we've heard, would likely only apply to new hospitals. But what about existing facilities? Experts tell us cost is a big factor, but that federal grants could be an option. We reached out to the federal agencies that hospitals and safety might fall under. We either didn't hear back or learned those specific grants only exist for nonprofit hospitals. But we also learned funding or any federal action could require Congress getting involved. After we reached out, we know the office of at least one Texas congressman is reviewing our findings.
This suggests to me a concern that should be raised about federal facilities to ensure that they're safe, not just for those who are in the building as government employees, but for all those who might approach them.
So like a VA or like a government building, that's something you would look at to make sure that those buildings are properly protected?
Absolutely. I do think what you found will give rise to my asking the General Services Administration, which is responsible for most federal buildings, to take a look at them and see what dangers might be posed and I will pursue it with GSA as a result of your report.
The very next day after speaking with us, Congressman Lloyd Doggett sent this letter referencing our reporting to the General Services Administration in this U.S. region to check on bollards at federal facilities. We'll keep you updated on any next steps. Until then, catch up on our complete coverage in this ongoing investigation online by clicking the link in the State of Texas story on this station's website. Matt Grant, State of Texas.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you for joining us for State of Texas. I'm Monica Madden. We'll be back next week to bring you an in-depth look at Texas politics.